Hey, did you guys like that sick new intro? I love it! The intro was made by a guy called Stranger TV, who is going to start making weekly top 5 videos about spooky things and the like in the future. I'm gonna leave a link down to his channel in the description. Please go subscribe to him, because that intro was just... it was amazing! Hey, so I went and saw that new Miss Peregrine movie in the cinema, and I thought it was fantastic, but like, there was only one thing I could think of throughout the entire film. The villains! They're Slender Man! They're totally Slender Man! The resemblance is uncanny. Just thought I'd say that. Go see that movie, it was really good. Also, Tim, if you need someone to do a cameo appearance or a small role in the sequel or something, you know, hit me up. I'd love to be involved somehow, you dig? I loved the movie. I'd probably even do it for free, yo. I've got 11 years of acting experience. Sorry, we'll continue with the video now.
Pokémon! I'll search across the land, look far and wide, release from my hand the power that's inside.
Greetings, fellow Pokemon trainers! Are you ready to learn? I sure do hope so. Today, the tradition of reading awful video game-based creepypastas continue. If you have not seen the previous parts before this one, feel free to watch them first. This time we're off to the regions of the Pokemon lands for an exciting trip through the fantastic world created by Nintendo. A world filled with amazing creatures, bustling cities, and childlike wonder. But for some reason seems to, one way or another, always end up having something to do with Lavender Town. At least in the world of creepypasta. In case you didn't know, there are hundreds upon hundreds of Pokemon-themed, scary stories on the internet. Some are fairly decent, and some are, I've already talked about some of the great ones, so why not talk about some that are a little less than spectacular? Let's go on a journey together, and if any of the authors of these stories see these videos, keep writing and keep improving. And hey, at least your story was able to entertain a fair few people. With all of that said, let's begin.
Warm-up round.
Pokemon Dead Green. Oh yes, we're starting off with a little warm-up round, an appetizer if you will. A story that is quite short, but gold nonetheless. A normal day after buying Pokemon Leaf Green turned to a nightmare, sort of. I, Ryan, have got Pokemon Leaf Green off eBay, but a game called Pokemon Dead Green came instead. The starters were Ghastly, Ghost, and Duskull, my favorite Pokemon. I almost beat the game with 2 more bagays to go. I thought I'd stop in the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, but the Lavender Town theme was in the tower. Wait, was the tower replaced with a radio tower? Anyways, after I beat the game, Professor Oak battled with me. I beat him, then there was no NPCs. Gary was left with a Mega Ghost ? All of my Pokemon fainted and bled to death. The screen said, "Game over." Then credits played with the Pokemon Tower theme. Then my game, boy, won't turn on. Sad face. Aww. Number 10! Pokemon Golden White Edition. I'm a big fan of Pokemon Creepypasta, but this is a real story. Alright, quick side note, if you even as much as mention other creepypastas in your horror story, you have automatically failed. You also automatically fail if you use the term hyperrealistic blah whoa nothing. One day, me and my friend Nathan went to a game store, specific name will not be given, because the Japanese Pokemon Black and White had come out recently, but when we got there it was sold out. However, on my way out something caught my eye. It was a golden, white, sparkling case for Game Boy Color. As I got closer to it, I realized it read Pokemon Golden White Edition, and it had a shiny Eevee on it riding a Ho-Oh. I picked it up and went to the cashier. I asked him, how much? He replied, $250. I paid the money, and as I was walking out, he said, "Never seen that chart rage before." When we got to Nathan's house, I popped the game into my special edition Pikachu Game Boy, and I started to play. The title screen appeared and I hit start and the game started. Well, that was lucky. As I suspected, there was already a save game, but there wasn't any new game or options. I hit A and the game started, and I saw a sprite of me and my friend Nathan. The sprites were walking, and they saw a shiny Eevee, whereas they proceeded to battle it. But we didn't even send out a Pokemon. Instead, there was a text saying, "You beat Eevee to death." Then the game turned off and started resetting itself. Then it sent me to the main menu where it said, "New game." I pressed A and it showed me running to Nathan's house with a shiny Eevee. It also said we were in a region called Canada, which sounded like Canada. I saw that Nathan had a shiny female whooper named Shelly, so I named my Eevee Lilith. Then we proceeded to beat all the gyms, and then the Elite Four and the champion, but after him both Pokemon went mad and turned a dark shade of red. Then they forgot all their moves. Then Lilith learned Sharp Claw. The description reads, "Kills opponent in one hit." Then it said, "Fly to Mount Gulkor, yes, no." We said yes, and then the game said we had to kill our Pokemon. Then it automatically made all our Pokemon faint and disappear. Then the game crashed. Then Nathan's doorbell rang, so we went to it and found a package containing a bloody shiny Eevee and Whooper. Bloody hell, Larry! So we did the appropriate thing. We burned them. Okay then, why did you receive those things in the mail? What was the point? Why did you include that in the story? Why did you waste our time? You should have written in like a great climax or a final battle or something, but we didn't get that. Now that's just lazy. Remember Lazy Town? That's where you live. Remember that show? That show was fucking weird. Number 9. Pokemon XD Burning Lugia. I don't care what any of you fuckers say. You think it's all fun and games when it's just a silly lost silver or cursed black story revolving around Lavender Town. Yes, they're fictional stories. Well, guess what? This story doesn't have Lavender Town or involve haunted chart rages. Ooh, are we gonna get some originality then? Seriously, knock off the attitude, author. It's getting on my nerves. My name is David, and I am 18 years of age. I had bought Pokemon XD LOL Lamau Gale of Darkness for the Nintendo GameCube as a passing 11th grade present back in May 2011. I was legitimately satisfied with my purchase. I got it from GameStop for $7. Decent price for a game released 7 years ago. Anyways, I was getting along with the game very well. I had beaten all the Cypher admins. When I got to the final battle with Greevil, shit started to get spooky. You know, like the shit you see in the movies or when you read this fucking creepypasta. Except it was legitimately happening to me. What the fuck, man? Anyways, I had captured Greevil's last Shadow Pokemon, and as expected, he sent out the ever-awaited and impossible to purify Shadow Lugia. Except, bear with me please, the Lugia was on fire. However, he still knew all his shadow moves, except he had the little burn status on it that indicated a burn. Instead of the usual, Pokemon was hurt by its burn, when the round ended, it turned to Lugia and said, "Lugia slowly burned away. ... Yes, with the ellipses. You think I'm making this up? Anyways, I captured the fucker with the Master Ball. The game credits rolled. When I went to the PC to check out the Lugia, it wasn't in my box, but instead was an empty spot with a shadow aura around it like most other shadow Pokemon. Its name was ... Lugia. I figured this must have been an error, but then it wasn't. I saved and turned off my console. I took out the game disc and ... cleaned. And the rest is history. I got my Lugia sprite back and then was able to purify within the next month. I wasted about 500k on Cologne for the little bugger. And he was purified and I transferred him to my PC in Box Ruby and Sapphire. Once that happened, everything returned to normal. Of course, except the lurker living in my basement, but that's not related to this story. Moral of the story: clean your discs and shit won't happen to you. Best regards. us te must rba simb slowly burn away. Zolgo? Is that you? Number 8. Never pick up abandoned Pokemon games. It was a hot summer day. I was 10 at the time, and my friends and I were out on a walk around our neighborhood. We were goofing off when I noticed a Pokemon Shark Rage. Being a fan of the Pokemon games, I ran over to it without hesitating. I showed my friends, and we decided to play video games at one of my friends' houses, considering that he had a lot of Game Boy Colors. When we got back, I grabbed a Game Boy and shoved the game in it because my friends and I were anxious to play it. The game started. Everything seemed normal until I checked the previous team party. Only a Pikachu and Bulbasaur were there. I pressed A on Pikachu, and to our horror, Pikachu didn't have any eyes, just deep black holes staring at us. Blood was dripping out. When I closed that menu and checked on Bulbasaur, only 8 words were in its place. Look to your left, look to your right. My friend and I did as we were told, but when we looked back at the screen, the creepy picture of Pikachu was there. I, at this point, was almost crying. Aww. Then one of my friends grabbed his Game Boy and tried turning it off. The system cannot be turned off at this time, it said. After reading that message, he shouted, "Bullshit! I'll make this go off." Don't you mean, bull freaking horse shit? He tried yanking the Shark Rage out, but it wouldn't budge. He got a knife to try to pry it out. It still wouldn't budge. On Pikachu's face, its mouth began to grin in an evil way. He knew that we lost. Then a message appeared. It was from Pikachu. "Don't try. You already lost," it said. At this point, we were mad. We began punching it. Slowly, the Lavender Town theme began to play. I found a large rock to smash the screen with. With a shout of determination, I smashed the horrifying screen. Shards of the Game Boy shattered everywhere. It was a real mess, but I offered to clean it all, but they said they wanted to help me. As we were cleaning, the Lavender Town theme played again. Impossible. The Game Boy was in pieces, tears gushing out of our faces. I faced a wall and found a note. "We won't lose. We won't stop playing Lavender Town until you get Lavender Town Syndrome." I screamed. Only to my horror, all of my friends were on the floor, dead, with no eyes, just like Pikachu. Damn, they all died? Now I feel bad. For the people who are gonna have to clean it all up. Fun fact, Gulpin might be my favorite Pokemon. It's just so cute. Number 7. Poké-Death. What do you really know about Pokemon? Let me tell you this. Nintendo lies. Do they really? Last time I checked, Nintendo were pretty alright when it comes to showcasing their new games. No pre-rendered trailers or anything. Just straight up gameplay, as it should be. But then again, that can go wrong as well. They say they faint, but is that true? Everything dies at one point. Anyways, I picked up a copy of Pokémon X, which I didn't know existed. And when I first saw it, I knew I had to have it. The start was like black or white, but instead of Reshiram or Sacrum, by the way, I do not care if I mispronounce these Pokemon names, okay, shut up. It had Bennett. I soon learned why. When the game started up, NPCs would either say one letter of Bennett, say, "Death is from the doll," or ask me to borrow an escape rope to hang themselves. If I said yes, a live-action video would play showing them hanging themselves. If I said no, they said, "Screw you, won't you let me escape from this living hell?" Professor Juniper, black and white, but that's why the startup was like black plus white, was not in her lab, only a grave in her spot. It read, "This world is being destroyed by the doll. Take one of the Pokemon here in the lab, and see if you can seize the damn thing." I was surprised that they would use such language in a kid's game. After I chose Oshawott, I walked out of the lab. a black shape flew straight at me. On contact, a battle started with a wild level 100 Banette. I thought, WTF Nintendo, a level 5 Oshawott versus a level 100 Banette? WTF! When it damaged my Oshawott with Bullet Punch, blood flew out of my Oshawott and onto the screen. WTF is with that? Oshawott was sent to hell, the game said. Banette then used Machine Gun. Seriously, is that even a move? But there was no Pokemon in battle. Banette aimed at you. Damn it. Red died. The game then shut itself off. But the next 19 times I played Pokemon X, instead of Pokemon X at the top of the screen, it said Pokemon died. By the way, I'm coming for you next. Never buy Pokemon X. Really? I'll just go with Pokemon Y then. Number 6. Pokemon the Bad White version! It all began on the 5th of September 2012. I was really excited and happy that I was getting Pokemon White version. This box had no logos on it at all. Then put it in my Nintendo 3DS. It began oddly. I was happy at the time, but then I was confused. The color was all dull and pale, and sent a chill running down my spine. This only had 2 options. That's unusual, there's normally 4 or 5 options, and while the only options were start and delete, I pressed start, then a creepy lagged could be heard, but it was all low and distorted, and the Pokemon logo was all red. It started me off with 6 Pokemon, a Snivy, a Patrat, a Woobat, a Lillipup, a Victini, and a Zora. That's impossible because when I checked my trainer's num, it said question mark, question mark, question mark. I checked it and it said 7 hours played, so how can I have those Pokemon already? When I came off my backpack, a message popped up saying, "Leave me alone now." My Snivy then died. I could not save it anyway. I tried everything. Suddenly, question mark, question mark, question mark, used Scream popped up, then a disturbing scream stated, and I showed a picture of Snivy, and when I looked I felt my lunch in my stomach raised to my throat. I was lucky enough to take a picture with my phone. You went back to player question mark, question mark, question mark, and I got to a Pokemon Center and Nersei Joy was not there and the shopkeepers wasn't there either. Then I suddenly got teleported and there were dead people and Pokemon everywhere. I checked my trainer file and my sprite looked horrible. He had pale skin and black eyes. My Pokemon were all dead as well. The blood started flowing down the walls. It was terrible. Then a box popped up and said, "I'm sorry, but this is your future and there's nothing I can do to stop it." I started to cry and said, okay, I forgive you. Then question mark, question mark, question mark, used Scream. This time it was horrible. The screams were unbearable. Ouch, my ears. I screamed too. I then continued playing because I just wanted this nightmare to end. So do I, mate. I then began walking as fast as I could to the next town, but my scream mucked up all the colors, began falling and melting the player. Question mark, question mark, question mark appeared, box popped up. Then there was nothing but the words RIP. I cried as hard as I could. I was all so frick to end. I closed the game and put it in my cellar. Oh. Thank the maker. Finally a story where they don't violently destroy the chart rate in the end. They have suffered enough already. And with that, it's high time to take a break from all the stupidity. Tune in next time for the final 5 masterpieces. See you then. Stay awesome, everyone. Goodbye.